Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man! At your services. Got another mask to show you. Oh yes. Now, I was going to do this little video outside because I was going to get the fire bin going and stoke it all up so the flames are all ablaze, and I was going to poke the fire and all of that sort of stuff, because the idea was going to be that it was the caverns of Isengard where Saruman's orcs are preparing the Uruk-hai army, and they're chopping down trees, and a big metaphor for, you know, the fires of industry taking over the natural world and the natural order of things for evil purposes. But you know what? It's so cold out there. I mean, if you look at the temperature, it says it's like 2 degrees. With the wind chill factor, we're talking -7, -8. It's really, really cold. And it was snowing. Now, the last video I did out there with a mask was my Michael Myers Strode damage mask. And obviously, it was cold and I wanted to show it, and I'd had the fire bin going and all that to get some ash, and add some decorative scorch marks to the mask. And it snowed. And even though it's a lovely blue sky at the moment, a few little shiny, wispy white clouds very high up, and the snow's gone. It fell down. It was a blizzard for all of 5 minutes, and then gone. Atmospheric was great, but even though it's gone, the temperature has just dropped even more, and as I say, with the wind chill, it is perishing. So another one of my great ideas has had to be kiboshed. No matter, at least in here I can play some appropriate music, i.e. The Caverns of Isengard from The Fellowship of the Ring by Howard Shore. So what mask have I got to show you? Well, I know that Trick or Treat Studios are this year, throughout 2021, they're bringing out a whole new range of masks, and some Lord of the Rings masks are in there. And I think I did show you them. I did a video on the catalogue, the forthcoming stuff, and they are doing a version of this mask. But this one I'm going to show you, I'm looking at it over there just off camera thinking, is it really worth looking at? Of course it is. It's made by Rubies, and it is the Orc Overseer. There he is. He's overseeing things right here. As you can see, he's being sported by my lovely accomplice here, my lovely associate, Mr. Kentucky Fudge. And he wears it so well. But yeah, this is made by Rubies. The label's long since departed because I've had it for a while. And I've said in the past that I like Rubies masks from Lord of the Rings. They had the official license from New Line Cinema and all that way back. And I got the Lert's mask and the Moria Orc mask. Now I think both of those have undergone changes in the years since. I know that the Moria Orc mask now has the piercings, earrings and rings in its flesh, which my version, which is the first one released, doesn't. And I think I've shown you that one. I haven't shown you Lert's because Lert's needs some work doing on him. Mainly because his bloody big hairdo has come off and it's all hanging down his back. I know it does anyway, but it's meant to be a bit up here with this big ponytail. But the glue's come away, so I need to work on that. Now, this mask here, I will show you in all its glorious detail. As I say, I like the Rubies masks from Lord of the Rings. I think they are very well detailed, and they're beautiful likenesses as well. Now, what we have here is the Orc Overseer. For that sequence where they're bringing the Uruk-hai out of these birthing sacks down in the caverns, the slime pits and all that, and Saruman's overseeing it all, and they're bringing them all out. I mean, how are they made? Do you know how the orcs came to be? Says Christopher Lee to Lert's, played by Lawrence McCaw, who's about 8 feet friggin' 9, with muscle and straggly hair and just demonic looking. And he's amazing, the leader of the Uruk-hai war party who go after, find the halflings, unspoiled, you know? Oh, Mr. Kentucky's losing his head there. So, in that sequence, they have the Orc Overseers. These are guys who are chopping down the trees and they're digging up all the Uruk-hai newborns, and then they fit them up with the armour when Saruman sends them out. Now, the thing about this character is, and I've got him as a figure. But of course, you and I both know that when it comes to finding the appropriate figure for this video, or any bloody video, I can never find them. I did find something else which I'll show you in a bit though. But I've got the figure for this guy, and he carries like I think it's a 9-tail whip. But in the film, someone tell me exactly where you see him. I've watched that, and of course you can miss things. But I'm looking for images of this guy himself. I'm sure he's there. They wouldn't just have carte blanche to take off some kind of wetter design which have been done, which was not screen used, and then fabricate a mask out of that for mass production. I just don't think they do that. It's going to be in there somewhere. Now, when you watch that sequence, Saruman walks among the orcs as they're getting all these Uruk-hai ready, and some of them are hiding back behind him, and they've all got the big pointy nose and the sort of Moria orc ears. They all have different looks, and the ones who are digging them out and the ones who are chopping the trees, they're obviously being overseen by someone like this guy. But I can't find him anywhere. With that face and that hairdo, I can't find him. But, you know, he's obviously in there somewhere, that's what I'm saying. And I'd like to have had the figure to show you just how close that mask is to what the laser scanned, 3D laser scanned figure looks like, and it is identical. And he's got a bit of a hunchback, and he's got lots of segmented armour on as well, and he's got this sort of 9-head whip-tail whip, and yeah, he looks great, but I just can't see him in the movie. Yeah, he must be there somewhere. But yeah, so Rubies have done this, and yeah, he's been bludgeoned on the nose. Whoa, because look at that, a pure Joe Bugner boxer's nose on it. He's got the orcish underbite. He's got blazing red eyes. He's got lots of wrinklage and craters and pits and scoring on his flesh. And this is what I do like about the Rubies masks. Not across the board, but a lot of the ones that I've got, they do have some great detail on them. You know, and the skin texture and the paintwork is great. The sculpt, there's nothing wrong with the sculpt at all. That's what the figure looks like. So I'm assuming that's what the character in the film looks like. And I bet he's in like a different scene, which I've completely forgotten about, and you see him up close, but I can't think. What I don't like about it is, well, the hair itself is okay. That's okay. The wispy grey strands, that's fine. Literally fine. Very finite. And, you know, it's wispy old man style. And I like it. But what I don't like is this sort of, the way it's been adhered with this all too obvious sort of hairband. It's a glue line, but with a strip which the hair has been literally anchored to and then sealed down. Hey! One job. I gave you one job. Out of the way, minion. So, as you can see, they've stuck some above this hairline. It's too. It looks like something that, you know, David Beckham would wear, some kind of hair slide thing, and he hasn't got to sweep his hair back because he ain't got that much of it. So, and it's all too obvious. Now, there's things you could do, and I've had this for quite some time, and they have stitched or glued some above, but it doesn't mask that at all. You would have to bring some up, a lot more up, and add some coverage to it. It can be done. Is it really worth doing it? Maybe he does have a hair slide. I don't know. And quite frankly, I'm not that bothered, because the mask itself is great. Look at the detail on it. Now, something I will have to say is that it's always the case when it comes to Rubies masks, I've found. The masks may be perfectly fine, the design, the sculpt, the paintwork, the vision, they are great masks, but shipping and handling and storage of them has been deplorable. It doesn't seem to matter where you get them from. It's how whoever ships them to you has received it from Rubies, because it's across the board. I've had Rubies masks come from all different kinds of outlets and suppliers, and they've all been the same: dented, dishevelled, misshapen, and just they've been stoved in, and that is too consistent. So, and I know this is old, but I've had more recent Rubies mask, and the same thing's been inflicted on them as well. Now, I've obviously used padding, and I used a big wooden block as well to bunch this out, because this face was, I know it's already misshapen with that nose, but it was all twisted round one side. I think this side was all sunken in. As you can see there, the jawline, the chin is slightly misshapen, got a big dinge there. But you know, these guys are meant to be misshapen and dinged in, you know, so is it really that problematic? You shouldn't be receiving them like that. The only dinges and dints should be what's sculpted into it. As you can see on the head there, there's a big depression there, and there's a big line. That's actually nowhere near as bad as it once was. And you can straighten these things out, smooth them out, use a hair dryer on them. You can do all that and soften the latex. You can do that. I haven't with this, because obviously I wasn't that, you know, pissed off with it when it first arrived. But you know, these are things that you can do. But it's just something that you should be aware of with Rubies mask. And I don't want to be disparaging, because I do like a lot of their stuff. And you can see at the back here as well. Look at that, because at the back we have the slit up the back there. We have the big, huge licensee stuff, you know, totally stamped into the latex, sculpted into it, I should say. There it is. Hate that. But if you can do it on the inside. But you've got a bit of a flappage taking place there. That could be straightened out as well. Of course it could. I mean, I'm not specifically saying that you should do this, but you can iron those as well. As long as you cover it up and just do it briefly. Don't be going, because you're going to melt the bloody thing. But you can soften the leather and reform it that way. The leather, the latex. Giving away some trade secrets of a different kind there. You keep your mouth shut about the leather works upstairs. But yeah, you've got a hole in the mouth there. You've got holes in the nostrils, and you see there and there. But the eyes are great. The shadowing around the eyes is fine. The eyes are bloodshot and ringed with red as well. You've got lots of warts and speckles and dinges and dimples. Lots of... It's great. Look at the texture and the weathering of the face, the skin. It is great. The ears are wonderful. You have the proper orcish type goblin-like ears. Yes, they're bent over, but they're meant to be. I'm fairly, absolutely 100% certain that they're meant to be bent over like that. And there's a lot of workings going on into that. I like that. I like those ears. I like him. I like this mask quite a lot. And he has clearly suffered in transit or in storage, but you know, he's come out okay. Okay. Who needs someone to write my scripts? Let's get some of this out and let's put it on. Oh, so I was explaining before why I'm all in like a big a granddad shirt like this. Oh, because it's perishing bloody cold. Let's get this on. Let's have a little look at this. Chop more trees down. Yeah, go on. Whom do you serve? Hey, yeah, big man, Saruman. Yeah, and me, because I'm the Orc Overseer. Oh, hang on a minute. You're over 8 feet bloody tall. I'm really your mate, honestly. I don't oversee nothing round here, apart from you having a bloody good time. Yeah. See the hair? It's pretty good. I like it. It's just, you know, the way that you can see that line. Yeah, I like it. I say it's not, and you, now I've took the padding out of it, you can see where you've got a bit of a Boris Karloff, Frankenstein's monster sort of dinge. You know, Boris Karloff, he had a bridge, dental work done. So when Jack P. Pierce did the makeup for the monster, the Frankenstein monster, he said, hang on a minute, you're meant to be dead, you're meant to be dishevelled and sunken. Take the bridge out. Took it out, and his cheek sank in, giving that trademark iconic depression in his face. In the first movie, the first Frankenstein movie, in Bride of Frankenstein, all of a sudden Boris Karloff had done a lot more movies and getting a bit more money, so he could put food on the table for himself and his family. So he began to fill out a bit more. But in that first movie, you can see very, very similar to that. It's sunken in. So I'm certain that shouldn't be like that. That's just damage. But at the end of the day, does it really, really matter? On many masks, it would, but on this, I can let that go because it's all part and parcel of a wrecked visage like this. You can see that now a lot more clearly defined. Again, that can be taken out a bit more. But then again, you know, a bit of a stove in, someone's hit him with a, you know, the blunt side of one of them big Uruk-hai machetes. But yeah, I like it. I like the mouth. I like all this detail around here. I think it's fine. I mentioned figures and what I found. Even though I couldn't find him, I did find what came with that figure, which is this. No, it's not Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors, although it does look like it. It does look like it a lot, doesn't it? Feed me. It also looks very rude as well. And what I've noticed is, well, you know, it looks, yeah, you know, but also it's unisex, because if you turn it that way and you open it up, Kilt-Man, what are you doing? You know, it could be something else, couldn't. Did they have any idea what they were doing when they made these things? Because in the film, it's just a big sludge patch, and you know, you can see the baby Uruk-hais in there. Well, they're not babies; they come out fully grown, like that, and they cut through it all. And what you find inside is, if you hit that button there, see that rather obvious push button here, like a detonator. Let's see what happens. Oh. It's an Uruk-hai. And that figure does come out. I think it comes out. Let's have a look. Or maybe it doesn't. Oh, hang on. Maybe it doesn't. I think it is stuck in there. You can see though, he's on his knees. He's all in a fetal position, all hunched up. Now, if I remember rightly, there was 2 different colour schemes for that figure in there that came with the Orc Overseer figure. And that one is a very great sort of livid red and green. Beautiful. Very unpleasant, but beautiful at the same time. Another one, I could be wrong about this, but I think it was much paler. Like it might have been just a grey. A very grey, anemic looking version. But it definitely was 2 colour schemes. I think that was the better one. I'm sure that figure does come out, you know. But come on. It does. Here he is. Isn't that nasty? And of course, they grow into these things. Now, the curious thing about this, there's a few different Uruk-hai figures, and I think I know I've got all of them, and I found a few before. I've got the Great Laird one where he's got his Uruk-hai bow and arrow, and he's putting arrows into Boromir. Got that, which is a great figure. There's another one, and I'm not sure if that's meant to be Laird. I can't remember now, or just another Uruk-hai. But weirdly, he's got that 9-head whip that the Orc Overseer should be carrying. Now, I've not took that out of the other figure and put it into his hand. He's come with that. But anyway, so, and he's mostly undressed. He's just got his little Uruk-hai nappy on. So he's only recently been hatched. He's about to be armoured and given his weaponry. He's got a button on the back there, because most of these figures had some kind of action that you could do. Hey, look at that. That's the Uruk-hai workout. Put your arms in the air like you just don't care. Hey! Yeah. And obviously you can have it. They are great figures, and I love the sculpt on these figures is amazing. The detail is great. Paintwork is tremendous. And they did try to give them something to do, which had variable degrees of success, but it was nice that they tried it at least. I mean, that's for the kid in you. Oh, we can do a stabbing action. And really, adults, you just want to stick it on the shelf and just look at it. Wow, it's awesome. Awesome. I found another figure here. I found a little Frodo with Sting, and there is stabbing action. But I don't know if you're going to catch this in the light here. I mean, I've got the master replica of Sting, which lights up, glows blue, and has battle noises. Which I've done a video on that. That is amazing. But I don't know if you can tell in this light that there is a slight colour to this. Like it's glowing slightly. You probably can't pick it up. It looks more green to me than blue. So obviously, green's not so bad. It's only when it glows blue when orcs are here. And it's times like that, my lad, that you have to be extra careful. And who said that? Your friend of mine, Bilbo. Now, I've shown you a couple of Bilbo figures. There's a Bilbo where he's on the way, he's walking the journey ahead with a big knapsack on his back and he's got a walking stick. And there's the one in that big presentation box I showed you, which again is a different design. He's got different clothes on, and that's a very unique figure to that presentation box, entitled There and Back Again. But there he is. There's a walking, well he is now. There's a nice, very happy Bilbo. I did say that I had the figure where, oh, my old ring. Can I just, I found it. Yes, look at that. That's in Rivendell, where he encounters Frodo, who's got his ring, and he just goes like that. And if you look at the face, that's brilliant. Look at the hands reaching for it. He's extended that hand to have a little look. That's a great figure, that. This is why I couldn't find one of those previous videos. It's brilliant. I just, maybe someone else can tell me. I know there's a Gollum mask as well, which I've not got. But did they ever bring out a mask of the totally possessed, wild Bilbo face? Did that ever manifest itself? I wish it did, because I'd love that. That is a great and terrifying look. And one of the best bits about that, of course, is the aftermath, because obviously Frodo recoils in terror, and then Bilbo goes, oh, like that, because you can tell, oh, he's an addict. And suddenly it's been brought back to him, and it's the pain, the burden of it. It's such a clever concept, and that's a great figure, totally depicting it. I hope you're getting the detail on that. Trying to. I've been promising for a long time to get some better camera gear, and that day is definitely looming, I have to say. Happy! Ah! Happy! Ah! Happy! Ah! Ooh. So, folks, the Uruk-hai Orc Overseer. So, can someone just confirm he's actually in the movie? Because he must be in the background somewhere. And if it's a really obvious scene and I've completely missed it, I've looked away each time he's been on, that's possible too. But yeah, I think he's great, because I've seen lots of imagery and sketch work of this character, but I don't think I've seen any actual photograph or still from the movie showing him, which only lends credence to the fact that, is he actually in the film? Are you? Do you remember? So long ago, I know. But there you go, folks. The Orc Overseer from Rubies. I know you can't really see, but the whole thing is slightly off kilter, even with the wavy bit at the back there, which has gone slightly awry, but it's not cut evenly. The whole base of it is all, which I like. I think that the Trick or Treat Studios one actually has some sort of shoulder armour as well, Because I'm sure there's an orc, or it might be Lert, and he's got some armour, some kind of segmented plate system going on there. So it's a more deluxe mask, obviously. There's a lot more going on, and I think this guy has the same sort of thing. Can't remember. But that's great. That's one of the original ones, so there you go. I've been sent to oversee things. All looks fine here. Right, I'm off. Lunch break. Folks, I have been, and always shall be, Kilt-Man. So please, whatever you're doing, do it to the best of your ability and enjoy it. And I'm going to see you all later. Isengard, yeah. At least it's warm down there.